Welcome, Tim, and welcome, Erica from Puerto Rico.
Crystal Jenkins from Virginia.
Welcome, Crystal.
Mike Sullivan, Boston.
Welcome from Boston.
Johnny Cordova, Orange County, California.
Welcome, Johnny.
Jarek, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Jarek.
This is Dan, Montreal, Canada.
Welcome from Canada.
And Don LaPlume in New Hampshire.
Welcome, Don.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, I think it's time to get started.
All right, sir. Well, everyone, tonight is, it's Monday, right? Manic Monday, Millionaire Monday, Mentor Call. So, as usual, we have one of our leaders that has proven themselves by making $1 million in some industry. And this gentleman has been in the solar industry. We know him very well. We've seen him today earlier. This is a part 3 of Meet JC Rangel today. We had him in the morning at 10, at 11, and we're rounding out the night Millionaire Mentor Call. So I advise you to take pens and pencils, recorders, take notes, because as we learned today, we can all do more. Right now, I am waiting for my daughter to come out of dance class. And I said, I think JC is going to be on fire tonight, so I can't miss the mentor call. I said, daughter, go dance. I'll be out in the parking lot, listening, leveling up. So everyone should be doing that. Like I said before, and Mr. Rangel and our leaders say, Mr. Bean, Mr. Yala, there is no excuses. If you want to be successful, you make the sacrifices and you be successful. So let's all do that. Let's do more. So tonight, we're going to be learning how we can be doing more from our one and only Mr. Rangel, the president of the company. JC's, mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. And yep, I agree. Sometimes my son is training and I'm like, you train, I'll be over here in the car listening to the training, or even while I'm there, right? I'm listening to the training as I watch him. So thank you very much for the introduction, brother, and everything that you do. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Millionaire Mentor call, Millionaire Mentor Zoom. I always say the same thing, but I say it because I mean it, right? I'm always excited to be here. I'm excited for every day. I'm excited for building a business. And one of the things that I knew a long time ago was that I was excited for the success that I knew was inevitable. I was talking to Gabby today. I did a 3-way call for Gabby, and I said, look, it's inevitable that winning is inevitable for those people that know that they're going to stay the course. Look, I've been in this industry 24 years and I've seen it all. I've seen people that are very motivated. They're going to go and get it. A lot of potential. They don't stick and stay. But write this down. Here's the first golden nugget. If you stick and stay, you get your pay. If you stick and stay, you'll get your pay. Some people faster than others, but nevertheless, eventually, it's kind of like, imagine, I'm not much of a baseball player. I'm not much of a baseball fan. But here's one thing I know. I've probably swung a baseball bat, I don't know, less than 10 times in my life. But I'll say this to you. By the way, I started drinking kombucha. Anybody drink kombucha? This usually doesn't taste good. This one's pretty good. So I've swung a baseball bat probably 10 times in my life. And let's say for those baseball fans out there, if who's the best pitcher of all time? All right, somebody put it in the chat. Let's say that best pitcher of all time were to be pitching fastballs at me or curveballs or whatever, right? Let's say that guy was pitching those balls. The likelihood of me hitting that ball, probably not Babe Ruth. I don't think he was a pitcher, but somebody said Nolan Ryan. Okay, yep, I've heard the name. Okay, Nolan Ryan seems to be coming up, okay? So let's say Nolan Ryan or Pedro Martinez, somebody else put here, okay, sends, and I swing and I'm going to miss, right? And I'm going to miss. What if I get 10 tries? I'm probably going to still miss. I might have to swing 1,000 times to get lucky and hit once. But ladies and gentlemen, when we continue and we persist in the business, you've got unlimited swings. There's in entrepreneurship and prospecting and building your business and showing up. Now imagine if I get to show up and get trained by millionaire baseball players. And I'm swinging like crazy, miss, but I go to training. They're correcting my form. And I go back and I miss. But I know I got unlimited swings because I'm willing. I'm not quitting is not an option because I bought into the idea of it takes 5 years to make life fair. It takes 5 years to make life fair. I started at 18 years old. 2001, I started. I didn't start making any decent money until 2008. 2008, I started making some decent money. I didn't start making six figures until 2010. So 9 years in the industry, going at it. Well, in those 9 years, I had about a 2.5 or 3 year break because I got into real estate, about a 3 year break. So, but nevertheless, from 2001 to 2009, maybe 2010 is when, about 2010 is when I started making, I think I made my first six figures in 2009 or 2010. Six figures in a year, $100,000, right? Nevertheless, we're talking about 9 years. But here's one thing that I noticed. One thing, I was very observant, right? I would observe what people were doing, and I realized there's a pattern between all of these six-figure earners and seven-figure earners. The pattern was the beginning of their career wasn't easy. They hardly made any money. Most of them. It was rare to see somebody that came in and hit a home run from the beginning, right? It was rare to see that. But one thing I did see is they would say things like, I had my job and I was working this part-time and I kept showing up to training. Then I had a breakthrough a year into it, 2 years into it, 3 years into it, I had a breakthrough, but they were with the same company, being persistent and consistent, following the system with a product and services and company that they believed in. And eventually they had a breakthrough. Eventually they found some key people. Eventually their confidence built up. Some people will say, eventually I realized, oh snap, I am the person. I am that person. I am that person that deserves success. I am that person that knows how to present, that knows how to prospect, that understands his business. I know how to overcome objections, and my self-confidence is bigger. And most people don't let it get to that point. Listen, I think that the richest place in the world is a cemetery, because that's where people will die and they'll go to the cemetery with all their abilities, dreams, hopes, skills that they never gave life to. Why? Because they quit too early. They quit too early. But imagine, I don't care who you are. You could be blind and take enough swings. Eventually, you're going to hit something. Now, what if you get good? What if you are sharpening your axe, getting better? And by the way, personal development, developing skills. You develop those skills in the classroom. This is the classroom setting today. But then there is the field. I believe that the best personal development, ladies and gentlemen, is on the field. When you're out talking to people, when you're networking, when you're shaking hands, when you're meeting new people, when people are rejecting you, then you start to learn, that was a mistake that I made. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Or I made that mistake 2, 3, 4 times. Now I'm not going to make that mistake. And that's when you're getting better. So to start off, I want you to write this down. There's 4 levels of consciousness. 4 levels of consciousness. Write this down for your notes. By the way, if you are able to turn on your camera, please do so. This is a Millionaire Mentor Zoom. It's not a regular training. Okay, I promise you I'm going to give you some value. All I ask in return, turn on your camera if you're able to turn on your camera. Those of you that are not able to turn on your camera, no big deal. I'm not going to eat your lunch for it. But those of you guys that are, turn on your camera. That'd be greatly appreciated. So, 4 levels of consciousness. I'm going to break these down for you. Number 1, write this down, unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. That's where you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how solar works. You don't know how security works. You don't know how network marketing works. You don't know how sales works, whatever the case may be. Unconscious incompetence. Level 1. Level 2, conscious incompetence. That's where you're like, oh, I understand what I didn't know. I didn't even know that an inverter was such a thing. I was just panels connected to the electric box. There's an inverter now. Oh, I see how solar works. I thought there was a monthly payment in addition to your electric bill payments. Now I realize one replaces the other. It makes more sense. Oh, now I know how security works. Oh, now I know that network marketing is not a pyramid scheme. Network marketing is a different business model that they decide to divide the overrides in multiple levels. It makes sense. Oh, now I understand that every successful business in the world recruits. McDonald's recruits. I'm not a fan of McDonald's, but McDonald's recruits. Every university recruits. NBA and NFL teams recruit. The UFC recruits. You recruit. Somebody that's never been in network marketing, you are a recruiter. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever been in a relationship? Great. You recruited somebody. You sold some. You're not in sales. Oh, no. Yeah, you are. You sold somebody to be with you. Do you have kids? You know how to duplicate. Okay? So we know how to do this business. We know how to do this business. Okay? So guess what? You just have to make a decision to become a professional. So you got to go from unconscious incompetence level 1 to conscious incompetence. Now you are aware of what you don't know. See, unconscious incompetence is where you don't know what you don't know. Conscious incompetence is where you are conscious of your incompetence, of our incompetence. There's a lot of things that I am incompetent on, right? So now you realize, oh, there's a lot that I don't know. The cool thing is, when I started in solar, for example, ladies and gentlemen, I knew I don't know anything about solar, and it was a little bit overwhelming in the beginning. Then I narrowed it down to a couple of things. Okay, I could only control what I can control. I'm going to major in majors, not major in minors. So let me figure out, sales takes care of it. I figured out if I get leads and I put those leads in front of a qualified prospect, mentor, to close them, I will make money, and then I will learn while they close a deal. And I will understand. In the meantime, I keep connecting to trainings. In the beginning, I was like, but I want to be a mentor so fast, and I don't know, when do you need an electrical box upgrade? Why is it so complicated, man? And what is the inverter? And how do I know what kind of inverter to give them? None of that matters. I'll give you an example real quick. Let's say I sell a system without the electrical box. They're going to come back and say, hey, you need an electrical box. Then I realize, is it really that big of a deal to go to the customer and tell the customer, hey, Mr. Customer, you need a new electrical box? To some people, it might seem like a big deal. To me, it doesn't. Then I realize, that's an easy fix. If I don't know, I could tell the customer, pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Send me a picture of your electrical box, Mr. Customer. They send me a picture of the electrical box. You know what? It's hard to see in this picture. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and proceed without that electrical box. If you do need it, however, your payment's going to go up roughly $10, $12, $10, $15. Does that sound fair enough? But that would be an upgrade to your property. So I started closing as a level 2 closer without knowing that. But I realized it boiled down to a couple things. Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment. I realized I'm not going to know everything, but what are the fundamentals I got to focus on when it comes to selling solar, for example, or in our case, security? Get the interest for solar, get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment. Then I tag the mentor. The mentor designs a proposal with me, and I'm like, oh, I'm learning. It's making more sense. Then they present. Then they interact with questions and answers. And I'm like, oh, I'm learning. I'm quiet. I got my notepad in this very office, taking notes. Then I leave that first sale thinking, I learned something, starting to become more clear. But here's what most people do. They suffer from paralysis by analysis, right? They want to know everything before they do anything. Most people, of course, not this group of people, not this fine group of people, right? But other people, those that didn't get on the training, right? So then I said, I already know this. I got to go and focus on what I can control. Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment while I'm building my team connected to trainings. So I'm recruiting people, connecting these people to the trainings, and I'm learning, and I'm leading by example. I'm getting 200 people to know beyond a shadow of a doubt of what I'm doing now. I'm prospecting. I want to get the no's. I challenge you, go get no less than 50 no's this month. Between now and the end of May, tell you what, between now and the end of May, I challenge you, go get 50 no's. So, number one, unconscious incompetence. Number two, conscious incompetence. Number three, unconscious competence. Now, excuse me, number three is conscious competence. That's where you know what to do, but you still got to think about it. You can't do it by muscle memory. You got to actively. Remember when you barely started driving? Barely started driving, you were nervous. Tell you guys a funny story. Prom date, I had never driven by myself, ever. Prom date, I got to drive like 35 miles to prom. I never driven a car by myself. I had driven a car total 3 times in my life. I somehow convinced my mom to rent a car for me. I got no license, okay? I got no license and hardly any experience driving. And I go pick up my prom date. I never even been close to a freeway, never drove near a freeway. Now I'm on the freeway. I'm sweating like I just finished working out. I got my hands on 10 and 2. And I see like the divider here of the freeway, and it feels like I'm about to hit. I'm just like looking to my left, and I'm making sure I don't go into this other lane, and I'm going slow on the fast lane. Oh my goodness, so stressful. And it was like traffic time. Luckily, on the way back, it wasn't so much traffic. But my point is this. Technically, yeah, I knew how to drive, but that was super conscious competence. I was conscious of how to do it, but I can't do it like I do it now. Like I'm driving, I'm not even thinking of the drive. I'm thinking of something else. And I'm driving, and I'm not a 10 and 2. Remember when you first started driving, you're a 10 and 2. You used to put your arm over here, look over your shoulder. Right now, I see ladies, they're driving, they're on the phone, they're telling their husband, you know, how to pack the kids' lunch. They're doing their makeup, and they're thinking of what they're going to do that weekend. And they're most, now, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that I've seen people do that. My point is, that level is what you call the unconscious competence. That's level 4. Unconscious competence. That's where you are competent in something and you could do it unconsciously. You don't have to think about it. It just rolls. It just goes. It's easy. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that you can get to unconscious competence with your prospecting, with your confidence, with your selling ability? Did you know you could get to unconscious competence with your overcoming objections? Not only overcoming objections, but confidently overcoming objections. Not just knowing what to say, but knowing the rebuttals. I guarantee you, I did a 3-way call, as I mentioned earlier, for Gabby, right? She signed up a new builder. He comes from Sunrun, and he says, hey, I love, he says to me, the more I talk to you, the more I'm convinced this is the place I need to be. This is amazing. Then Gabby tells me afterwards, man, you are so good at these 3-way calls. I'm like, well, I've done a lot of them in my life, and I'm talking to prospects all the time. Now, I guarantee you when it came to answering solar questions in 2020, I wasn't as good as I am in 2025, right? But here's one thing I know. It's a matter of time, and I got unlimited swings. I was at unconscious incompetence in 2020. That's why I say in 5 years, you can make life fair. Because when I started in 2020 in this industry, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Okay? I wasn't before. Like a year and a half before, I was worth 7 figures, my family and I, right? Lost everything. We were getting back on our feet with home security. But nevertheless, we were still not doing good financially. But I knew, oh, it's just a matter of time. Because here's one thing I know. I'm going to make up in numbers what I lack in skill. I'm going to make up in numbers what I lack in skill. Here's one thing I know. There'll be people to my left and people to my right that quit, and I will persist. Because here's one thing I know for your notes. It ain't over until I win. It's not over until I win. I'm going to win. It doesn't matter. There were people with a lot more experience than me, bigger teams than me, more experience, great sales people. I said, that's cool. Maybe you're going to get to $1 million, but I'm going to be right there with you. But I think I'm going to beat you. I'm going to bet on myself. You know why? Because I'm not going to quit. So here's one thing before I open up the PowerPoint, I'll share with you this. One of the best tips I give people is make sure that you have a way to make money so you don't develop commission breadth. Let's say one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they try to go prematurely full-time. They try to go full-time prematurely. And I say, I've had that same conversation I've had with people on this Zoom right now. Whether I want to go all in, I say, I don't think you're ready to go all in. Now, you would think that I would want you to go all in. No, you should have a job to pay your bills and build this business part-time for a couple of reasons. Number one, you won't have commission breadth. Number two, you're more relatable. It's more duplicatable because most people are going to be part-time. Now, think about this. What if you actually buy into generating 8 points a day? 8 points a day. Do you think if you generate 8 points a day, that means you're connected to trainings, you're prospecting, you're collecting bills, you're getting prospects for a whole year? Do you think you'll be better a year from now than you are now? Mm-hmm. What if you're just 1% better, not daily, not weekly, monthly? Only 1% better. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 12% in a year, right? So check this out. I'm gonna do some simple math with you. Let's put things into perspective. Everybody starts at 100. You got 100 points of abilities plus 12%. That means in a year, you go from 100 to 110, 112%. That's year one. Year two plus 12%. You're at 125.44. That means that you are by the end of year two, you are 25.44% better on year two, plus 12%. Year three, by the end of year three, you are 140.49. That means that you are 40.5% better at the end of year three than you were year one. Then plus 12%, that's year four. Then plus 12%, that's year five. Year five, you are 76% better than you are now. That's only 1% better per month. Now, I believe that you can get more than 1% better. Now, what if after 5 years, you didn't hit Builder 8,000, Executive 15, Executive, etc.? Let's say you didn't get there. But what if you got to Builder 2,000 or Builder 4,000 and you are twice as better as you are now, more confident, 5 years of experience under your belt? Are you in a decent place? Sure. Or give me another plan for you to earn a $2,000 to $4,000 residual income plus overrides in 5 years. How much money would you have to invest in real estate to get there? So when we put things into perspective, we realize, people quit way too soon. People throw in the towel way too soon. And why do they throw in the towel? I'm going to give you a simple formula. You have a way higher likelihood of throwing in the towel when your activities are not persistent on a daily basis, 5 days a week. Because think about it, you're going to have less evidence of success, less evidence of, okay, maybe I got potential success. I've got a couple of prospects. I'm getting better. People are responding better. But go ahead and do that slippery slope of not talking to people, not prospecting, not generating your 8 points. Your likelihood of falling out of the business drastically increases. So I recommend on a daily basis, do what you've got to do. So let's share this screen and we're going to go. Today's training is 7 secrets to 7 figures. Let's go. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 1 is your ability to dream big. The first secret to 7 figures is your ability to dream big. Okay. If your dream doesn't scare you, you're probably not dreaming big enough. Okay. In order for you to live a life beyond your wildest expectations, you have to first have some wild expectations. Even the good book, the Bible, says to write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. They say that when you write down your goals, you're 48% more likely to hit those goals just because you put ink to paper and see them on a daily basis. Dreams are the fuel that get you to say, I can, I will, and I must. Big people that win big in life, dream big in life. People that win big in life, dream big in life. Need something? No, hang out with your little brother. Okay, maybe afterwards. Okay, let me do this. Okay, the next one, become an expert / professional. Here's what I mean though. Make a commitment to become a professional. Most people are like, well, no, I'm not a professional. Have you even made a commitment to become a professional? Have you made a commitment to become an expert? Most people haven't even made the commitment. Well, dude, you're really not going to get there. Right? If you haven't even committed to that, if that's not even a goal of yours, you're definitely not going to get there. So what is an expert? What, somebody who's at the top 1% knowledge level compared to everybody else in the world on that particular subject. When you go out and read 5 books on a particular subject, you will know more than 99% of the population on that subject. It's not just books, it's trainings like this. Then things will click, right? So for example, we're talking about plan, do, review. This is a plan. This is where you learn the stuff. Then you go out there and do the stuff. Then you review. Like this morning, I did a training on the new homeowner list. I went through some scripts. I went through some rebuttals. I went through how to do that. That is the plan. Then when you go out there and do, and you start to talk to people, right? Then after you do that, you come back to your mentors. Say, hey, here's the objections that I got. Here's what I'm running into. How do we handle this? Oh, here's how you handle it. Somebody says, yes, you know what? We have considered solar, but we already are getting a quote from somebody else. Oh, sounds good. Hey, listen, hey, good luck to you. That's great. No, that's not how you answer that. So you come and you tell your mentor that that's what happened. How would you handle it, mentor? Here's how I would handle it. Let me tell you. Oh, you already are getting a quote from somebody else. Yes. Hey, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Hey, just make sure, you know, that you know, in the contract that you sign when you go solar, it says that you're supposed to get 2 or 3 different proposals from different companies. Okay. So make sure that you are indeed doing that to make sure that you're getting the best price, and make sure that the installer has enough experience that they're going to be around, because in the last 5 years, we've seen over 2,000 installers in America go out of business. So the last thing you want to do is you don't want to get caught with one of these installers that's a fly-by-night installer, because this is a 25-year commitment. Now all of a sudden they're like, whoa, wait a minute, right? Hey, matter of fact, here, for example, when I used to visit new homeowners, sometimes they say, yeah, not right now, maybe sometime in the future. Hey, yeah, no problem. And I start walking away a little bit. Hey, yeah, no problem. I completely understand. By the way, I understand, Idris, nobody likes to be sold, neither do I. So one thing that I do that's different is I'd be happy to email you a solar savings report, no obligation. As a matter of fact, I won't even ask for your phone number. All I need is some basic information and your email, and I'll be happy to email you a solar savings report, because I know nobody likes to be sold. All of a sudden, you know what people say? Oh, so you could just email me one? I sure can. See, because I want to get it to the next step. See, now what happens is that they want to give me a utility bill. I need the utility bill, right? I'm still going to ask for the email and the phone number. I'm still going to try to set an appointment. And emailing them a proposal is better than walking away with absolutely nothing. Can we agree? Yes. Not only that, I'm buying myself time to build the relationship. And there's more tips like that, right? But my point is plan, do, review. If you're not out there working the business, there's nothing to review with your mentor, right? So commit to becoming an expert. That's a key word. Commit to becoming an expert. A couple key words here. Number 3, create a game plan for everything. Okay. For example, goal setting is crucial. You want to make sure that you have specific goals with specific time frames. The goals must be written down. So identify what you want to achieve, okay, and what you want to sacrifice in order to achieve that goal. So develop an action plan for achieving the goal. So by when will you hit mentor? By when will you hit manager? By when will you hit director, etc. Builder 500, whatever the case may be. If you don't write this down, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You've got to be on purpose. You should have a leather-bound journal or a nice journal. Have your goals on there. I like to have my goals on there, my to-do list on there, and on the back, I got a list of all kinds of prospects. I got an active to-do list that's always changing. I'm always crossing out. I got my goals on there, so I'm able to read them. And I got a list of prospects on the back pages. So I leave like the last 10 pages for prospects. Why? Because I'm always adding new prospects. Then I'm following up on them. I'm making notes on them. Okay, let's keep going. And then look at your goals daily. And remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Be on purpose about this. Act different, right? Let's go. The next one is AOMA. That stands for All Out Massive Action. To earn 7 figures, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to go all out massive action. An airplane on the runway to get up off the ground has to go all out massive action. Then once it hits cruising altitude, guess what it's doing? It's cruising. But it's not exerting all of the gas and all of the energy while it's in the air. It exerts a majority of its energy and gas on takeoff. All out massive action. I recommend everybody do a 90-day blitz once a year, minimum. 90 days, that means 90 days of all out massive action. You talk to your spouse, you say, baby, listen, for the next 90 days, I'm going to be extremely busy. I got a game plan set, but I'm going to be busier than ever before. I'm going on a 90-day run. 90 days is just enough time to create some massive action in your business, right? And it's also a perfect amount of time to where you won't really burn out. Anything other than 90 days is a little bit much, but 90 days, I've gone on many 90-day blitzes, and I've seen people go on 90-day blitzes and they see a tremendous difference in their business. But here's what happens. If you do the 90-day blitz, all out massive action, right? You start to inspire other people in your team to do likewise. So you're finishing your 90-day blitz, and you got people in the middle of the 90-day blitz, ideally, and you got people starting the 90-day blitz, and now you're supporting them. But guess what? As a leader, it's important that we lead by example. You got to lead by example, right? Imagine you've got somebody comes in very motivated, and they're thinking, hey, I want to go on a 90-day blitz. What do you think? Listen, they're not just asking you that. You know what they're doing? Whether they know it or not, eventually it'll click for them. I wonder if you have done a 90-day blitz. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you a side note on team building. Your team will do 50% at best of what you do right. So what you do that's right, your team will do at best 50% of what you do right. If you're lucky, 50%. But they'll do 100% of what you do wrong. Don't go and do a 90-day blitz. Watch them not do it. Don't get on this training with your camera on. See if they'll even get on training. If they do, they'll have their camera off and they'll be multitasking and not paying attention and miss that gold nugget that could have changed their business. Miss that gold nugget that could have get them there. Some of you guys are 1 week or 1 month away from quitting. Gone, done. I mean, I know. I've been doing this for 24 years. Sometimes they get on a training and you see, here's another golden nugget I'm going to give you about team building, ladies and gentlemen. Your job as a leader is to know a couple things and do a couple things. Number one is this. Your job as a leader is to know that everybody has an invisible expiration date on their forehead. Some people, it says 4/22/2025. That's tomorrow. Some people, and then because of today's training, boom, we extended their expiration date another 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe another month or 2. So they have invisible expiration dates. Your job as a leader is to do certain things to extend expiration dates until you erase expiration dates. One of those things is leading by example. Another thing is getting them paid. Another thing is believing more in them than they do in themselves, painting them in the picture, finding out what their whys are, game planning with them, showing them that it's possible, being a leader, encouraging people, showing them that it's possible by you doing it yourself. Then guess what happens? They see, whoa, you did it. If you got to build her 500, you got to build her 1,000, I could do it too. You get on these trainings and you learn how to be more confident, how to talk to people with conviction. So you start to talk to people with conviction. Some of you guys are going to surprise yourself. You're going to realize, man, I never used to talk like that before. How in the world am I talking like that right now? One word. Proximity. Proximity is a powerful word, man. Hang around winners. you're going to end up becoming a winner. You're going to start acting like a winner, talking like a winner, thinking like a winner, being positive, upbeat like a winner. Your action is going to increase. You're going to realize I've been operating at a level that I thought was a high level. When I see what these other people are doing, I realize this is not a high level. I could do more. I used to think that after doing this much activity, I was tired. I realized I'm actually not tired. I'm just programmed to think that I'm tired. I could do more. I used to think that when a prospect tells me this is time to stop, I realize that's when it's time to start. When a prospect gives me the objection, I don't have the money. That's where some of you guys stop. That's when I start. Let's say Alejandro were to say, JC, I like it, but I don't know if this is in my budget, man. You know, it sounds good, but I don't know if, you know, I don't know if I could really afford $199 right now and then $99 every single month. I say, oh, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, I understand. I've certainly been there before. Alejandro, can I be brutally honest with you, brother? See, I'm just starting now. This guy just entered a lion's cage and shut the door behind him. So I say, hey, can I be perfectly brutally honest with you, brother? And notice how my tone changes. Hey, that's fair enough, and I respect it, Alejandro. Let me ask you something, bro. Can I be brutally honest with you? Is that okay? He says, yeah, sure. I say, sounds good. Let me ask you something. How long have you been in the workforce? How long would you say you've been working? He says, I've been working 10 years, 20 years, since I was 18, since I was 15, whatever the answer is. 5 years, I don't care. I've been working 5 years. Okay, cool. And listen, that's why I asked if I can be brutally honest with you. Let me ask you this next question. Do you see a problem, brother, that after working 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, that coming up with $199 to start your business to possibly change your financial situation? Do you see that? Do you see a problem with that scenario where you're having an issue to come up with $199? Do you see a problem with that scenario? If he's the right person that I should be working with, he should say yes. Yes, I've been working for 20 years of my life, and a $200 decision is hard for me. You've been doing something wrong. And I'll tell him that. Since you told me that I could be honest with you, brother, here's why I asked. Because if after working 10, 15, 20 years of your life, $199 is stopping you from starting your own business, what you're doing isn't working, brother. And I'm showing you a different way. I believe, but I need both of us to believe, but I'll tell you what I believe. I believe that you and I working together can make you a lot more than those $100 a month. And we could get you your 4 to pay no more. And we could find a way. I don't have the money. If you didn't know how to come up with the money, how would you do? I guess I would sell some stuff on OfferUp. Okay. Let's sell some stuff on OfferUp and let's get you started, change your life. So you never have to tell a complete stranger that you don't have $199 to change your life. Do you guys see the difference there? When some people are stopping, I'm just starting. When people are looking for a way out, I'm looking for a way in. Because you know why? A 7-figure mindset is different. I don't have anything in common with mediocre-minded people, but I'll help you all day long. You bring me a mediocre-minded person that wants to stop being mediocre, I'll help them all day long. I got time for them. But doesn't mean I have something in common with them. Because see, to earn 7 figures, you don't stop at the first. People are like an onion. You peel the layers of the onion till you get to the core. The core of people wants to be a winner. The core of people wants to do something great. The core of people. So some of you guys, I want you to put in the chat why you're in this business. Tell me why you're doing the business. I want you to put it in the chat. Feel free to put it in the chat. So you guys see where I'm coming from with this? When I ask a prospect, they're looking for an opportunity. I know there's nothing better out there. I am sold. But see, I was sold before I was a president of any company. I made $1 million in network marketing when I was 30 years old. I retired my mom at 29. I made $1 million in crypto. I made $1 million in solar, right? So it's not like I'm new to this. I'm not, right? But check this out. Somebody says, I want to, build a legacy, freedom, finances, freedom in time, financial freedom. Okay, you got to be more specific than that. But to retire with the same lifestyle I made my entire life. That's a good one, Dale. For me, for example, was retire my mom was a big one for a long time. My wife to be a stay-at-home wife, mother, right? take care of our children. That's what she wants. That's what I want. So that's why I'm doing it. Part of the reason why I'm doing it, one of my whys. But the why underneath, inside of the why is I also want the satisfaction of being able to do that for my mother and being able to do that for our kids, being able to do that for my wife. Right? I know that. Kathy says, retire me. Great. See, when that why needs to make you be able to run through a brick wall to get it. But that's why we need this every Monday. We need these trainings every Monday to kind of whip us back into shape. We got to get back on track. I had a sales meeting this morning. I said, hey, are you doing everything that you need to be doing? Nobody should be able to say, I could do double what I'm doing in my activities. You know why? Because that means that you are doing very little activity if you could double it. Okay, let's go. Make up in numbers where you lack in skill. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Here's one thing I knew. When I started in solar, for example, I knew that I wasn't the most talented. There was people with 5, 10, 15 years more experience than me. And I said, I'm going to outsell them. Now, to the average person without a 7-figure mindset, when you say that to the average person, I'm going to outsell all these people and my team is going to outsell their teams. The average person that doesn't have this mindset is thinking, JC, that is unrealistic. How do you figure you're going to beat this guy who's a stud with 10 years of experience, has been with this company longer, has prospects asking him, he's already got a team built, you're just getting started? I said, you don't understand. I'm not most people, and I know how to build a business. They got a little sales team, regular salespeople. I know how to build and duplicate people. I know how to recruit and build a network, and then we're going to generate leads, and we're going to get more leads than they're going to get. We're not going to pay for these leads, and they're going to close at a higher ratio, and they're going to install at a higher ratio, and there's going to be less cancellations because we're dealing with warm market. I've done this all my life. Not only that, I'm going to make up in numbers what I lack in skill. I understand that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. They may be more talented in solar than I am, but I'm going to outwork them. I'm going to talk to more people than they are. The amount of people they talk in 2-3 days, I'm going to talk to in 1 day. I am going to go all out, massive action with a great attitude. And I know that the compound effect of doing this is going to take me to win. And it's just a matter of time. Winning is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. But you know what you see very often? People get, the world is full of temporarily motivated people. There'll be people that be, after today's training, they're going to be motivated for 24 to 48 hours. Come Thursday, back to their normal selves. And that's why winning is not hard. Because winners find a hack in themselves and how to keep that same energy all week long. All week long. That's okay, man. Even a week. Come back to the Millionaire Mentor training. Come back to the Monday trainings. Let that be your fuel for another week, but keep that same energy and effort for a whole week. 8 points minimum on a daily basis. Some of you guys, listen, I'm going to just be honest with you. Some of you guys, your key people are not going to come till a year from now. Some of you guys in a year are going to get to builder 500 or builder 1,000. Watch this. In a year, I've been working my butt off on builder 500, builder 1,000. I made some overrides. I made 15 grand last year. I made 10 grand. I made 5 grand last year. Not a lot of money, but I've learned a lot. And then you're going to hit your breakthrough. Then you're going to find a stud or a studette that, boom, goes and puts 40 people in your business in the first 30 to 60 days. And then guess what? You are, why? Because you became the person that is worthy of recruiting and having somebody of that caliber follow you. You were not before, but you are now. Not only that, it's just a matter of time. You keep swinging that bat and swinging that bat. Eventually, as Jim Rohn says, the seed will fall on good ground. But there's some people that will quit the business and they were a week away, a day away, a month away from recruiting a superstar. Some people are going to quit and somebody's going to ask you on Facebook or Instagram or text, hey, you still doing that sort of thing? They don't sound interesting, but the reason why they're asking you because they're open now. Then you say, oh, no, I'm not doing that no more. Then they say, oh, that's cool. But they were actually open to joining your business. and you didn't give it enough time. You quit. And they think to themselves, good, I knew it. Because let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. There's a golden nugget I'm going to give you. Somebody is going to say, I told you so. Either those people that don't believe in you are going to tell you, I told you so, Ignacio. I told you not to waste your time with that direct sales stuff, with sales, with solar, with network marketing. I told you not to waste your time. I tried Amway, 1983. I was in Amway, and it didn't work out. I don't have any friends anymore. I told you not to waste your time, but you know what? I'm glad that you're out of it now. You came to the light, Ignacio. Or the alternative. Your results will say, I told you so. Man, I have people texting people. Don't answer JC's call. He's going to try to recruit you to some pyramid thing. And I will call people, they wouldn't even answer. Some people that, hey, bro, I'm not interested in that thing that you're doing, bro. Chris told me about it. Not interested, bro. I'm like, dang. Good news travels fast, huh? I mean, it's just, it is what it is. That personally, for me, that's something I put a chip on my shoulder and said, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to become a millionaire or die trying. I've always been a person that I kind of study and analyze, and I would look at people when I was 18, 20 years old, I would look at people that were 30 and 40 years old. And I would just kind of use my common sense and realize those guys now look more tired than they did just a couple years ago. They don't look happy. They're certainly not successful. That's not the route I want to go. Then I will look at people that have what they have. One of the keys to success, ladies and gentlemen, is find somebody that has a success that you wish to have and that's willing to teach you how they did it and copy them and be a student and be super, super coachable and do it long enough. That's one of the keys to success. And that's what we do in all the trainings that we do. And here's the thing. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for this one. Check this out. This is super important. This is so important that you guys get it. I'm going to draw it out for you. Check this out. It's kind of like the wheels. It's kind of like a rim of a car. Here's what happens. You got trainings, today's training. Some of you guys on some of the training that you hear today, some of the things I'm going to say are not going to make sense. Are not going to make sense. This is today's training right here, up here. That's today's training, right? Let me pin myself so all of you can see it. This is today's training. Some of the things that I say on today's training are not going to make sense. But then you go to the next training. You'll learn some things, and some of the things that are said there are not going to make sense. Then you go to the next training. Some of the things you're going to learn some things are going to you're going to catch on, and some they're not either not going to make sense or they're just going to go over here. You're going to miss them. Then another training, me or somebody else will train, and that training will make this training from a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago click. Then again, you go to another one. Oh, now it makes sense what they were talking about a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. Then you start to connect the dots. Then things start to click. Oh, I get it. For example, one of the things that happened to me, my mentor says, don't do what works, do what duplicates. Because what duplicates always works. What works doesn't always duplicate. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? Don't do what works. Now, I realized over years, he doesn't literally mean don't do what works. Yes, do what works, but focus, put more emphasis and make sure that you are system driven. More so than just, for example, let's say I sit down with Dayon and I close Dayon because I'm a good closer. I just sell him on the opportunity, overcome all his objections, but I'm brand new. Instead of using a third-party three-way call system. I don't need to bother my upline. I'll just close them myself because my ego is too big to follow the system and I don't got time for that. I'm going to just close them. Then Dayon, let's say, says, sounds good, I'm in. But let's say Dayon doesn't have the experience that I've got. Dayon tries to copy what I did. So Dayon goes to Johnny and Dayon says, I'm going to just do what JC did to me. I'm going to just hard close this guy. And he starts to throw up information. And Johnny says, not for me, bro. Then Dayon's like, well, that didn't work. But if I did this, if I'm system driven like Gabby was today, and I put my ego to the side, and I say, that's a great question. And I edify an upline expert. I put him on the phone, the expert answers my calls, my questions, the prospect's questions. Now Dayon says, this makes sense. Huh. So when Dayon has a prospect that has questions, Dayon, right? Genius see, genius do. Dayon says, I'm going to do a three-way call. That's a part of the system. And that's how I was recruited into the business. So he does, and he doesn't do what works, because see, when I recruited him, it worked. But when he tried to duplicate it, it didn't. See, it took me literally years to figure out that. I just gave you $1 million worth of game in the last 2 minutes. I'm telling you, I'm not lying when I tell you, it took me years for that to click. I listened to it, I was like, and I just didn't ask my mentors. Then I went years, and then I realized, oh, snap. I remember I recruited this guy, Walter. Somebody on my team recruited this guy, Walter. It had already clicked for me. I was selling healthy coffee. Around the same time Sam B was in the healthy coffee business, 2011 or 12. Real estate broker had his own real estate office, Whittier, California. He got excited about the business. The market had gone down. It was on the way up, but he wanted a residual income. He called a bunch of people. By the way, we're going to go past the hour. Just letting you know right now, man, there's a lot to cover. He invited a bunch of people to his office, and he was a rich guy. He lived in a $3 million home, had $100,000 cars, had a beautiful office. And he got like 20 people, a little bit over 20 people to a launch event. We went, we signed up a bunch of people. He basically hard closed everybody. So I present it. Then he just tells everybody, sign up. Here's the applications. You got to sign up with the big pack. And he just kind of told people what to do. He had a lot of credibility with them. But he was trying to hard close them, trying to be a real estate closer instead of a network marketer following a duplicatable system. So I try to tell him, look, here's the system and here's why. And he was very uncoachable. By the way, some of you guys get excited sometimes recruiting a top real estate agent or a top executive or something like that. And let me tell you something. Very often those people come with a lot bigger ego. They're not as coachable. And guess what happens? I would much rather somebody without that big experience that's coachable versus somebody with a lot of experience, a lot of credibility that's not coachable. They're a pain in the butt. So when I find people like that, I try to find good people through them, just in case it doesn't work out with them. I've seen it happen a lot of times. So this guy says in a training, he says, what I'm going to teach my people to do is I'm going to teach them to cold call the white pages. And I'm going to rent these little cubicles out to all of my team. They're going to pay me $300 to $500 a month for these cubicles. I'm going to give them the white paper and I'm going to give them scripts, and they're going to call cold market the white pages. How do you think that turned out for him? Very bad. I said, bro, I don't recommend that. I recommend you follow the system. I've been doing this for a long time. He says, JC, I've made millions in business. I've made millions in business, JC. I know what I'm doing. I'm a sales, and he's older than me too, right? I'm a sales professional. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, but you don't know this business, with all due respect, brother. And I'm smiling, right? And I just know this is going south fast. I said, I gotta let this guy crash and burn. He's not coachable. Maybe there's some of you guys here that think like that. I'm telling you, don't be a Walter. Be a winner. Just be coachable. Put your ego to the door. It's a different business. Imagine I come from MLM and I try to just sell real estate like an MLM. I'm not doing no open house. I'm not doing none of that. I'm only going to sell to my warm market. No, you should sell to your warm market. But there's things, every business is inherently different. There's a lot of similarities, but there's differences, right? It makes sense for me to learn from an expert in that area. So that's my point, right? That's an example of, after a while, you're connected. That's why, what's the most important training you should attend? The one that you plan on missing. You don't miss these trainings. Guess what? Some of you guys still haven't caught on. Tuesday and Thursday is non-negotiables, dude. Some of you guys haven't caught on. You guys realize that Tuesday and Thursday are non-negotiables. I don't have a guess. Don't be penny wise and dollar what? What is it? Penny wise and dollar foolish. I believe I got it. Somebody put it in the chat. I probably messed that up, but you guys get my point. Let me tell you why that's a system. In case you don't know, I've been doing this a long time, man. Here's why. I got a guest shows up. All the people without a guest say, I got no guest. I'm thinking of me, not of we. This is a we thing, not a me thing. Remember that. Building a business is a we thing, not a me thing. The name on the front of the jersey, the team BYLD is on the front of the jersey. The name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back of the jersey. That's your last name. We show up to the Tuesday and Thursday business presentations, guest or no guest. The meeting needs us without a guest. When we have a guest, we and our prospect need the meeting. Because if I show up with a guest and all of you that don't have a guest don't show up because you're putting yourself first, guess what? The meeting doesn't look as attractive. You better be, man, we're asking you for 40 minutes of your doggone time, twice a week. Get on. Hey, this is JC Rangel from Los Angeles, California. From sunny Southern California. Hey, this is Jabari from Georgia. Hey, this is Idris from New York. Boom, 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 boom. We see the tick, 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 tick. The prospects are like, wow. There could be 99 reps and one guest. One guest doesn't know. The guest knows there's 100 people on the call. You know why? Because we put the name on the front of the jersey before the name on the back of the jersey, because together we can go far. Alone, you could go fast. Together, we could go far. Do we want to go far in this business? Yes. So some of you guys are going to buy in. Some of you guys are going to say, you know what? I'm buying into JC's vision. Some of you guys are saying, forget this JC guy. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. And that's okay. Let me tell you, I don't even take it personal because that's supposed to happen. Some of you guys are not going to listen to me. And that's okay. That's fine. All right. As you guys can see, I'm really calm today. I don't have a lot of energy today. That's why I'm not going in on you. Just kidding. You guys know that I always give you this energy. Here we go. Number 5, everything rises and falls on leadership. Showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, look, if I was a guy on the field, I never miss any meetings. We're going international expansion. New trainings, new PowerPoints, new back office is coming. We've got meetings with vendors, ADT, Brinks, the internet companies, AT&T. You know, we're going to offer mobile service. We're going to offer internet, Charter Communications, Spectrum. We got meetings upon meetings upon meetings. If all I had to do was build, you better believe I am not on every single one of these. I'm on most. And I am multitasking. So if I'm not presenting, I am handling other corporate stuff, guys. We're going bell to bell. I'm not just on the field. But anybody that has worked with me with the last 24 years will tell you, that dude was in every meeting every single time, and I was the guy that hosted it. I was always the guy with the office. So I want to make that clear. So you might, and by the way, whenever you see BYLD Network with the camera off, that's me on the meetings. Okay, I'm logged on to the BYLD Network thing, right? And sometimes I'm doing other things that are corporate stuff, right? Sometimes there's literally times where we have meetings with our vendors, right? While these meetings are happening, I think Mr. Navarro right now is with a vendor as we speak. So here we go. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Stop looking for the leader and become one. Some of you guys are in a market where there's no leader, there's no presentation. Great, be the one to start it. I was talking to somebody today, I think it was Jim Meadows. And he says, hey, what do you think of CJMs, you know, CJM type meetings, in-person type meetings and whatnot? I said, in-person meetings are the business. Yes, I still do them now. Even if you get together with a group of people, let's say 3 or 4 of you commit to 1 meeting per month in person. Even if it's at a diner, for example, Denny's Diner. So I used to do meetings at a Denny's, it's not here anymore in Downey. They charge us $200 worth of food. As long as you order $200 worth of food, you get the room for 2 hours. If 3 or 4 of us commit to having 1, 2, 3 teammates plus a guest, we got a meeting of 20 people. Even if it's a meeting of 10, doesn't matter. Once a month, that's doable. $200 worth of food, even if it's $300 or $400 now. Hey, let's pitch in. Let's have the teammates put in $5 each. You know, we're good to go. Let's make it happen. So stop looking for the leader and become the leader. If you set the bar high, you lose the losers. If you set the bar low, you lose the winners. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. Leaders are having a great day no matter what. and there are very few exceptions. There's tragedies, there's really bad things that happen. Those are the exceptions. But a deal fell through. Somebody quit the business. That's not enough for you to have a bad day. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. You need to know, I am a winner, and winners have a great day no matter what. I am not going to shake in front of people. I don't care if I'm a leader of one-person team. It's got to start somewhere. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to make a decision today that I'm changing. And every day, every Monday, and every other day, I'm changing because I'm building. I'm getting better, and I'm getting closer. You're getting better, and you're getting closer. Let's go. Number 6. Okay, actually, this is still number 5. If you are a level 5 leader on a scale of 1 to 10, you will only attract level 4 and under. This is a law of leadership. A leader must dream bigger than those that he leads. Must have an attitude superior to those that he leads. Must display a commitment to integrity and character. Don't talk about anyone behind their back. Okay? Must make a commitment to personal growth. If you are green, you are growing. If you are ripe, you are rotten. Stay green, meaning stay coachable. Get on the trainings. JC, the president said to get on Tuesday and Thursdays. Those are non-negotiables. Guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be on Tuesday and Thursday. Guess or no guess, I'm going to be on there supporting the team. Because when I need them to support me, I know that the BYLD family, the BYLD community, because of the culture that's built, they're going to be there in support with a great attitude because this is a part of the system. Persistence and determination. It takes time to achieve greatness. Let's go. Number 6, build your identity or your vision of yourself. 7-figure earners build a 7-figure identity or vision of themselves. 7-figure earners foresee themselves as a 7-figure earner. I'm going to ask you guys this. How many of you guys have envisioned yourself as $1 million earner? You're making $83,333 per month minimum. You're making $1 million a year. Let me ask you this. How do you dress? How do you talk? How do you carry yourself? How is your self-confidence? Are you leading by example? Are you good? Do you think you're going to get to $1 million a year? Do you think you're going to get to $1 million a year by showing up when it's convenient? By showing up to Tuesday and Thursdays when you have a guest and not when you don't have a guest? By multitasking during this hour, the most important training of the week? By not doing the personal development, by not generating the 8 points daily, by not leading by example? Is that how you're going to get there? See, it breaks down like this. Simple. All of you guys have probably heard this. It's called be, do, have. You want to make $1 million a year, you got to learn this lesson. And this could have been the training for today, and it would have been well worth it what I'm going to tell you right now. Be, do, have. Imagine the millionaire version of you, the one that deserves to earn $1 million. Okay? How do they act? What is their work ethic like? What is their belief? Do they have their goals written down? How many points do they generate daily? Are they on Monday and Wednesday, and Tuesday and Thursday meetings and trainings? Yes. Okay, great. How's their self-confidence? How's their attitude? How's their consistency? You got to become that person now. The way it works in this universe, maybe in a different alternate universe, it doesn't work that way. But in the one we live in, the one that we're talking about here's how it works. You got to become the person now. I did this for the B, right? Become the person now. You got to be. If you actually become that person, you will do what that person or that version of you will do. You will do the stuff where like, oh, Sam Bean said he's going to be in Georgia doing a Super Saturday, so-and-so weekend, consider it done. Sam Bean will not be in Houston, Texas that weekend. I can guarantee you that. You know why? Because Sam Bean is that guy. Oh, he said he's going to do this many calls and this many meetings. It's done. Don't tell me about Sam. I know that's getting done. Tell me about this other guy. So you got to be the person. If you actually decide, envision, close your eyes, get a notepad, write down, what does $1 millionaire a year version of you look like? Write it down. When you have it written down, say, now I'm going to be that person. It's like Steven Spielberg comes and says, we're doing a movie of your life. You are playing you. This is how you got to act. This is how you got to work. This is how you got to talk. And we're going to pay you $10 million to do this movie. You in? How many of y'all would take that? What you got to realize is that there's a lot more than $10 million waiting for you. If you actually become the person. It'll only take a decade to make 10 million, but you can make 10 million a year with this deal instead of a one-time shot. So you be, then you do, and only then will you have. You know what the average person with a mediocre mindset thinks? They say things like, you know, if I was making $1 million, JC, I'd be motivated. I'd be in the meetings. I'd have the money to travel to wherever I got to go. I would go everywhere. I have so much confidence. I would talk to everybody. You know what that person's telling you? They want to have, then do, then be. It doesn't work like that. I need to see in order to believe. No. A millionaire knows, no. I have to first believe, then I will see. I have to see in order to believe is what mediocre minds say and think. I have to see in order to believe. No, I have to first believe. Everything is backwards. I have to first believe, then I will see. Everything is created twice. First in the mind, then in the physical. That's why I tell you, write it down. Make it plain. Write down what that version of you looks like. This is a homework for everybody. Write down, how do you dress? Are you in better shape? Are you more confident? Are you more disciplined? What time do you wake up? What does your work ethic look like? How do you ask a waiter in a restaurant? How do you call a waiter up? How do you order? What kind of watch are you wearing? What kind of car did you drive up in? Do you envision the valet guy going? I go to these beautiful hotels with my family. My kids are used to it. We go to these beautiful hotels, and then they come and they check our bags. Beautiful 5-star resorts. That seems normal to us, but it didn't at one point. But I envisioned it before it became a reality. I knew because it's not over until I win. I would be on trainings like this, and my mentors would be doing trainings, and I click on the gallery view, right, where you see everybody. That's what I'm doing right now, gallery view. And I would do this. I would look at everybody and say, I'm going to outlast all these people. Maybe some of them will be there with me. But I'm going to the top of the mountain, and every single one of these people is going for second place. They could resign first place. That's not an option for any of them. I'm going to beat everybody because I want it more than everybody, because I am the creator's highest form of creation. And I deserve abundance because I'm willing to work, because a good book says that the sleep of a laboring man is sweet, and I'm willing to put in the labor. And guess what? My children and my mom and my wife and I deserve it. I got desires in my heart that the creator put in me, and I don't think he put them in me to tease me. I think he put them in me as proof that I can achieve them. And he gave me these talents. He gave me a gift. Here's your talents. That's your gift. And what I do with these talents is my gift to him. So let's go do something with these talents. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Man, I'm going over. But it's all right. You guys are hanging in there strong. We're about to wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up like a burrito, says the Mexican man. Here we go. So, build your identity of yourself, how you see yourself, and what you truly expect of yourself and for yourself. Your identity is controlled by your subconscious mind. What people say about you, it shapes your identity. The results that you've experienced in life, can't do anything about that. You already experienced them. Can't do anything about what people say about you. Now you could change that over time. What you say and what you think of yourself also shapes your identity. Every word, action, and thought is an entry into your subconscious mind. Every word, every action, and every thought is an entry to your subconscious mind. So I'm going to give you this golden nugget. Again, I'm giving you a lot. You guys should rewatch this training. You got to start thinking about what you're thinking about. Negative self-talk, you got to become an expert at casting out negative self-talk. Expert at casting out. No. I don't entertain negativity. You're not good enough, JC. Yes, I am. Not even thinking about it. See, let me let you in on a secret. Winners have negative self-talk, have doubt. Here's the difference. We don't let it linger. What I used to let it linger and stay in there, and I used to entertain it. Not anymore. I realized a long time ago, multi-millionaire mentors taught me. It's not that self-doubt doesn't enter. We don't let it linger. We don't entertain it. We consciously have to work on not letting negative thoughts in. Then eventually we are able to cast out negative thoughts unconsciously, the unconscious competence. Remember, the road of a champion is a lonely road, but it's well worth it. And focus on your achievements as little as they might be. Let's keep going. Last one. 7-figure earners, winners, take 100% responsibility. It's not anybody's, it's not your upline's job to make you rich or to whatever your goals are. It's your responsibility. It's not like, oh, they haven't put anybody on my team. It's nobody's responsibility to put anybody on my team. Nobody's. When I made $300,000 in 1 year for the first time, not one person was put in my organization. Not once. That's the year that I retired my mom. Not once was one person put on my team. The question is, what is your biggest failure in life? Key question. What's your biggest failure in life? If I ask somebody, what's your biggest failure in life? And they go on and dwelling and feeling bad, that tells me this person's not a winner yet. What's your biggest failure in life? Well, there was a time that this happened to me, you know, and it kind of sucked, but, you know, learn from it. I'm better because of it. That's a different answer. The most powerful people in the world take responsibility for everything in their life. If it's to be, it's up to me. Victims do the opposite. They blame, complain, and justify. Those are 3 attributes of a victim. They blame other people. They blame other circumstances. They blame the president. They blame the current president. They blame the past president before that, right? They blame their spouse. You picked your spouse. They blame their boss. You picked the boss. They blame the president. You picked this country to live in. Yo, stop that nonsense, because there's other people that also live here with all these things that you're saying that are succeeding. As a kid say, stop the cap, all right? I was playing video games yesterday with my son and my niece, and I'm playing with them, and I'm talking crap, right? And then tell me, stop the cap. Like, what the heck are you talking about? I've heard that before. Anyways, I just think it's funny. Here we go. Take the following words out of your vocabulary. Can't, maybe, hopefully, and the killer word try. Don't try anything. Do it. I don't go to present to a homeowner. I go to close a homeowner. I don't sit down with a prospect, right, to see if they're interested. I sit down with a prospect to open them up to our business and to get them to sign on the line that is dotted, to show them a way that they could literally change their life. There's people out in the world right now that I haven't met yet, that I'm gonna meet, that I'm gonna make millionaires. I know that. Some of you guys have people in your look. Want me to give you one last hard truth? I'm gonna give it to you without your permission. Some of you are gonna introduce people to this company. They're gonna become millionaires, and you're gonna quit. Let that sink in. I've seen this happen in 24 years. I've seen a lot of things. I'm a grown man. I'm 42 years old. I've seen a lot of things in my life, and I've seen a lot. I've done a lot of business in my life. I've learned from a lot of great people with a lot more experience than me. But in 24 years, right, that's a good amount of time. I don't care who you are. I've seen people come in. The guy that brought me in the business smoked me in 2001. Smoked me. Something happened to that company. That guy quit. He's a good friend of mine. He's a client. I sold him solar. And we just closed a couple of his solar customers recently. I went out and made millions. He brought me in. This happens all the time. I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that anybody here can make $1 million a year and beyond in the next 5 years. I truly believe it. And some of you guys aren't going to hit your peak until 2, 3, 4 years into it. There'll be some people that'll hit $10,000 for the year on year 4 and make $1 million in year 5. I'm telling you, man. It takes 5 years to make life fair. I hope you guys got value from this information here today. I love all of you guys, and I don't say those words loosely. I genuinely mean them. I believe that we have the best culture, the best people. I pray for the good people to come in and the bad people to stay out. I literally, those are words in my prayers, because we want to build something healthy, something strong, something real with good people that want to bless people. You want to eye gouge people? This is not the place for you, man. You want to help and bless people, but make a smaller commission? Welcome home. Okay? We're going to do something special, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to build a legacy company. I love all of you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. Bye-bye.